Day 6 of the Diddy trial unfolded with its usual urgency, journalists scrambling for seats, whispers of explosive revelations hanging in the air. But no one anticipated what came next. Monique, yes, the Monique took the witness stand. What had long been dismissed as a Hollywood feud abruptly transformed into sworn federal testimony, linking Diddy, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Bishop T.D. Jakes in ways that left the courtroom stunned. She didn't arrive with gossip, she brought records, dates, audio files, and the kind of clarity that couldn't be ignored. For the first time, Monique publicly shared, under oath, the accusations she'd been warning about for years, and it shifted the entire framework of the trial. Before the doors even opened, the press packed the halls, ready for whatever shockwave was next. They weren't ready for her. The Oscar-winning actress and longtime critic of Hollywood walked in quietly, confidently, through a side door. Diddy's legal team exchanged tense looks. Prosecutors shuffled frantically through their files. Her name wasn't on any public list of witnesses, but the moment she sat down, the courtroom's atmosphere changed. Diddy, clad in a sleek charcoal suit, tensed. Cameras weren't allowed, but sketches captured his sudden unease, jaw clenched, eye twitching, while Monique, poised and direct, began, I was asked here to tell the truth, and that's what I'm going to do. For years, she'd spoken out about being blackballed by Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lee Daniels. Critics brushed her off as bitter or difficult, but now her story was evidence. The judge allowed her to read a timeline of events, meetings, broken deals, late-night calls, all weaving into a broader pattern that had now become central to the case. Prosecutors nodded, following along, linking details to earlier testimony from Cassie Ventura. Suddenly, this wasn't just Diddy's trial anymore. Monique's next bombshell wasn't even aimed directly at Diddy, it was directed at Tyler Perry. And it hit like a thunderclap. She recounted a 2018 phone call in which Perry admitted blackballing her was wrong. He told me he'd apologize publicly, she said, but he never did. She testified that Perry told her a public apology would cause backlash for others not ready to be exposed. Asked who those others were, Monique looked at the jury and said, "Puff, that's who." Audible gasps filled the room. Even the prosecutors exchanged startled glances. This wasn't theatrics. It was potentially systemic collusion. Monique went further, quoting a recording where Perry allegedly said, "We've all seen things at Puff's parties that can't come to light." The judge accepted a transcript of the recording, but withheld the audio pending authentication. What shook the room wasn't just the content, it was the implication. Multiple Hollywood elites may have known what went on at Diddy's events, and chose silence to preserve their own standing. Diddy's attorneys objected, calling her testimony conjecture, but the prosecution countered that it helped establish the broader ecosystem of complicity and silence that protected him and possibly enabled abuse. Then came the revelation that turned the tide. Monique adjusted her mic and declared, "I've been to one of Diddy's parties and I left because I saw something I wasn't supposed to." She recounted attending a private gathering in 2006, invited by a fellow actor, who described it as elite networking. On arrival, her phone was taken. She was led inside a grand mansion in the Hollywood Hills. The scene was surreal: candles, soft art, and guests being ushered into back rooms. She recalled seeing a woman in stilettos and a man in only a robe. One of Diddy's assistants, reportedly, told her, "You're safe if you sign the NDA." She didn't. She left. After that, the calls stopped. Invitations dried up. Rumors of her being difficult spread. She always suspected that Nique had marked her as a risk. Asked if this seemed like standard procedure at Diddy's events, she nodded. It felt organized, systematic. She said her account paralleled Cassie Ventura's descriptions: candles, cameras, escorts, hotels posing as business hubs. But Monique's voice carried the authority of someone who wasn't coerced. She had a choice and walked away, and the price was her career. When asked if she believed Tyler Perry had protected Diddy, she didn't hesitate. Yes, it was deliberate, strategic. She referenced the infamous moment where Perry donated $1 million at Bishop T.D. Jakes' church. They called it a blessing, she said, but I saw it as a transaction. To her, it wasn't charity, it was image control. She testified that shortly after, rumors about Diddy vanished from gossip sites. That money wasn't for Jakes, it was for silence. The prosecution then introduced a photo of Diddy and Perry smiling arm in arm in a bed event just weeks later. The message was clear. Diddy wasn't being shunned, he was being propped up. Monique then turned to the judge and said, "I'm not afraid of being blackballed anymore. I've already paid that price. The silence cost more." Then from her bag, she pulled a transcript. "This is the call," she said. "The one where Tyler Perry admits he was wrong." Audible gasps. Monique had long claimed Perry privately, apologized for his role in her career decline, and now she was saying it on the record, with a transcript to prove it. She'd warned him it was recorded. He hadn't objected. The judge read the first few lines and allowed it into evidence. "I know I messed up," Perry reportedly said. "You weren't difficult. You just refused to work for free." He then added, "But I can't go public. Puff's name is tied up in too much right now." Prosecutors seized on the opportunity to show that even Hollywood's most respectable figures feared the consequences of Diddy's downfall. If Puff goes down, Monique testified he told her, "A lot of people go with him, people who sign checks, people who finance movies." Her voice trembled slightly. "He could have cleared my name," she said. "He didn't because he was protecting something bigger, something darker." The judge ruled the transcript admissible. Diddy's legal team looked rattled. What had begun as a phone call between peers was now federal evidence. Then, a name no one expected to hear was dropped: Oprah Winfrey. Monique didn't name her for shock value, she made it count. "In 2010, I confided in Oprah that I'd been abused by my brother," she said. She promised not to exploit it. Then she put him on her show right after I declined the precious press tour. The courtroom was stunned. She said it was business, but I saw it for what it was: a warning. Monique tied it all together. Oprah, Perry, and Diddy through shared NDA letters, crisis management teams, and the same handlers. They all use the same people to clean up the same messes, she said. One PR rep even mistakenly forwarded her an internal email with her name, Diddy's, and Tyler's in the subject line about narrative control. She handed the redacted version over to the judge, who reviewed it quietly. Her point was clear. The system wasn't just corrupted, it was organized. Careers were traded like commodities. Play along, and you thrive. Refuse, and you're erased. And today, under oath, she called it out. As she closed her binder, she looked calm, composed. This wasn't just testimony, it was truth-telling on a national stage. During a recess, she returned to the mic with one last twist. "Now let's talk about the list." The room froze. There's a list in Hollywood. Not written, but very real. A list of people you don't criticize. Puff was on it. Tyler was on it. Oprah, she helped build it. Her tone sharpened. The moment you speak against them, even if you have proof you're difficult or unstable. Or worse, she cited actors who had one breakout moment and then vanished. Some didn't play the game. Some saw things they weren't supposed to. She read a brief, redacted statement from a former actor who described an airy retreat run by a powerful director, phones confiscated, contracts signed, odd rituals performed. She didn't name Perry, but she didn't need to. The courtroom felt the implication. The judge reminded everyone these were allegations. But Monique's message was piercing. Hollywood isn't just about entertainment, it's about silence. About silence. Asked point blank whether Diddy played a role in sabotaging her career, Monique replied yes. Not at first, but eventually. She explained that after Precious, a junior exec from Diddy's Revolt TV, told her, "You rubbed the wrong people. This isn't just Tyler and Oprah. Puff doesn't like noise either." She learned of backroom talks between Perry and Diddy, where her name came up not as talent, but as a problem. The prosecution then presented emails from a PR firm hired by both Revolt and Tyler Perry Studios about managing narratives around Monique and Cassie Ventura, a direct link between the reputations of both women being engineered. Her next statement struck hard. "They use difficult like a virus. One casting director hears it, and soon every door shuts." Then she said something almost no one says under oath in Hollywood. "I wasn't blackballed. I was whiteballed by black people." Her voice didn't shake. "People who looked like me but feared for their spot more than they cared to do right." She admitted she didn't want to testify. "I didn't want to relive the trauma," she said. "But then I saw the Prince video. I saw Cassie crying. I heard Diddy yelling in court, and I broke." She said she remembered her grandmother's voice, "Baby, don't let them write your story without you in the room." That's when she knew she had to show up. Her final moments on the stand were unforgettable. When asked what she believed caused the system of silence, she answered in one word: fear. Fear of losing work, deals, respect. People like Puff, Tyler, Oprah, they've made truth expensive. Then, softly, to Diddy, "You thought no one would speak, that your empire would protect you. But now you're sitting in silence, and I hope you finally hear us." As she stepped down, the courtroom was electric, not loud, but charged. Diddy was visibly shaken. His lawyers whispered rapidly. Monique, once cast aside, had just delivered the trial's most powerful moment. The courtroom had waited all week for this kind of testimony, but no one expected Monique to be the one to give it. And when she whispered Tyler Perry's name not loud, but loaded, it shifted everything. "You want to talk about power," she said. "Ask Mr. Perry why I was shut out after refusing to work for free. Then check who stood by him at every event." She held up a folder not yet entered into evidence. The jury heard it. The damage was done. "I know who was at those parties," she said. "I've seen the NDA letters signed. I was told to stay quiet. And when I didn't, my work disappeared." Then she said something that silenced even the prosecution. "I have audio of Tyler admitting it, saying he was wrong but refusing to go public because it would ruin everything." She stared forward. "I'm done protecting men who never protected me." And just like that, the trial wasn't just about Diddy anymore. It was about everyone who made him untouchable.